Mwanjo muligererie karibu asenseme iga Egeikaro ritko ria lero na niko tuli na Samyenda tulegereri ase obwoime kigima aria nyare kwaga gakwane kwa chinsema anda mono ase amangana agesiasa gusata chinsema chia agesiasa njeni ngorkwaro ni Ototo nyangiri Sam Myenda na gatora monere era gochoba kwa nese TV kira ritukolia chipapiri muligereri wadora anda anyirenga na abada na koroja
Friday no tware ngari sensema ye radio ni TV combined of course ndagetengirire bageri ndakwania barigirire baitondo siasa muri karibu sana sensema ye Egeikaro ebuna moiwa nchenkuru kwa Samyenda inde umuralia ekorwa TV ya Getembe anamona sensema ya siasa yes
anene mono kura sensema ya siasa na siasa na era banta bange bagenda tekoligereria kigima ana regenda te kumurekerwa ase enjira yobo mikigima siasa mwete na manga ganda tekwane kiwa samsingi no wiga wasnyunga yuko ya chakere ko siasa ne ganda korolekana kera asikere nsemo
nda tebanga chi friendly chigenda ntra so siasa ya friendly
banta bagenda kutie mana chinguru sana kolende ekane kelikiara rekane no kubage kana gwekia mage odiam I think the major function ya nyako ga kolekana ekoro ki koro yoko bagana gwekia mage odiam ne ya kolekana ritukulia lero se account ya pusia ase yalekana lines have been drawn bono imestari ya atiru elia korungana imestari mebaliri bono ngaga gwikira go chakira ntubate ntubate odiam broadbest ntubate odiam united opposition ntubate osno odiam asiri odiam Kenya odiam people
kuchabo so Ototo ntonda kwanere asomega buritukolia lero ente tenginyo mwanchu muligereria ngakinere kero mugaka Jaramogi akwete ndo bwate kiama kyari kurukunga ODM Kenya Ford Kenya not ODM Kenya ndo bwate kiama kyari kuruku Ford Kenya Ford Kenya igo kyari ngara the leadership obu mugaka Jaramogi Oginga Odinga kero mugaka oriasira tokatwara Raila Odinga na kijana wa Molo na Orengo you know the leader, the party leader of Ford Kenya was Jaramogi, being assisted by Wamalwa, kijana Wamalwa. Bono igo yarenga automatic nga ko Jaramogi aruo Montorogocha no Oginga. I mean kijana Wamalwa. Lakini bono Raila felt like kiama kene kimugaka tatoma bo
ne kiabo
kiarenga it was a family investment. Aka feel like he was entitled kwa murai lakini bono iwe yaringi kati ya Orengo na Raila mwori kokonya kijana wa Malwa initially konya kijana wa Malwa owamwire ko support Raila Odinga but yakatia na handa akaonchira birengo chiase Orengo akaonchora ibirengere ko chiase Orengo bakagendeke minano Orenga akabwa kero Orenga abwa oyonde Raila akaruo akanda akarosiki kiamba ya DP ya DP keraruo keranda korosi kiama ya DP igo andake igo kero bochori bwache ose kero bachi kwa unenkia the support of the Luo Nyanza based on the succession ya Rengo ase kiama ya Ford Kenya gocha se kijana wa Malwa abantu ba Luo Nyanza bakalengereria ndake kijana wa Malwa was an outsider na handi no maringa emesingi ya siasa yense yetu ya Kenya igere that it is tribal macha zirende nebwate picture ya ye kiutaifa the genesis nebwate bono aba the friends was the leaders from the Luo Nyanza baka feel like they don't belong to Ford Kenya kwa sababu iko kiarenga more of it's the ownership wa yarenga kurwa sensemeria ya Baluya that's when now Raila Odinga started building himself as a kingpin or senseme ya Luo Nyanza. Bono to wochana lero the same situation is it's happening. History is repeating itself that umugaka Raila oyo jerosity kiama ya ODM osiriyo kumabwae then we have now there is a problem that Winnie Odinga I don't know whether she feels the same in Raila affiliate kero Jaramogi affiliate but when you see igara senseme area itataketi the current leadership ibono iga mpaka Oburu Odinga yure anko ya I don't know bono yaikire mpaka Sifuna we really look at Sifuna like kijana wa Malo when we had a serious succession Orengo bono Orengo still naro lakini bono Orengo bwinga kilia I think is kind of babu wino. Kwa sababu they feel that they own this thing. So that is the history that it is repeating itself. And lakini usakurigari the nseme yaba na siasa baba ODM barenga nseme ya Busia ne habu mwaka Raila Orengo still these guys mbargo support the broad-based. Umuchando babu is not the I think that unless you're babu wino watu umuchando na mangana leadership no party leader. Lakini mono muntu unasifuna no muntu una Orengo when you listen to their when you listen to their language they are more of they don't support the broad-based. Bono na abu no ba fight yoburunga why are you supporting the broad-based? I don't know whether sifuna na Orengo na Ososi if today the Oburu targo support broad-based I don't know whether Mbamo support as being a party leader. When you look at these leaders all of them Babu Wino Nairo kumachikorokananga is fighting Oburu Odinga. In fact, no, and then tukolia lero Babu Wino as a statement ya ni kama kinga baada ya baba ni babu. Baada ya baba ni babu. But again, nega rogoli mna wasino Orengo. Just statement ya ni ka ko insisting akia magyaudi amgere kwa niku litukolia lero as a statement ya nyaka bako pe kunga monta yora ko likia magyaudi mtogo tika kuru. Then we have all these people. But yomo chando so chakere. Chando so chakere kia magia ODM. Okoranga nega apu ya lengo ese succession yekia. Yeah. Maybe the members of the party they never expected ingaki at one particular time the party leader anyara kabaga exit. Yes. Of course but what the chief deputy party leader isato. Oyoro moske abutu Made Sharif Nasiri moske governor Simba Arati moske Godfrey Sosi. Under normal circumstances succession no ebwanta kubwatira kurwabunga ekara party leader yo deputy party narego. But iga abono and the challenge ya chirenga unto what deputy party leader isato. In the open as the year class fighting party leader number 1, deputy party leader number 1, deputy party leader number 2, deputy party leader number 3. I think iga no isikubwa tubiya ko nyongo chano cha kertenga is succession ye in case of anything who is equal among the rest. Ehembare ngenda kido monena kenata geriko to ko monne kubwa ba kubwa bande. There's a time to ko ne tege se Egeikaro tukaligere tukatabanga tukademocracy abaraya ba gocha kwekanga tukatigele mugavana Simbarati pa ifachunga no mugavana pa ifachunga na beto majumbe Nairobi for 2 terms na bete obeire sekia mugia ODM amatuka mange tukamugras fainga na bakorangi haya dani for example muntu mna Ososi niga arenge sekia makensi bwanga so ODM tukatanga ini one way or the other ejina mbakumo irani eranke ya mugo severance to tukurigo sina Made Sharif Nasiri turigere tutabenga nza chinde bimo bebeta tuiga unabona ekia esibago tabanga the Sintabrat mobilization powers as compared to Governor Simbarati. So meaning inga ekaro circumstances chance pia nyoranga eyalenge either Simbarati or Made Sharif na rutagere koba a party leader after Baba Raila Odinga. Then issue kabare is diga a few weeks ago ekaro mosagana ro kanda sechenda machasa meta igoro ya linda ground. Mugavana we county ya Kisii mosike Paul Simbarati katabanga ninche na alengera ikirikoba party leader. Lakini because of this and that ngatabanga tiga Oburu Odinga anya kubwatera. Then almost ke Edwin Sivuna na oroka in one of the media houses ya katabana erenga a procedure ya tumegete ko elevate Oburu Odinga to the level of the party leader. Jalenge clear and it chindi jalenge mamjana lichiko igen tugere te musko puru dinga na ko irane ko matabe na ya monyane sole kero ke kia SG anae kia batiti chiko koso kosoro so jisege chige meaning is chige chiganto kan ntorla kiriko chiro for why bono chiro. Well, there's something what they abaigoro ya the succession ya ekiama giodi mumaete tiango tabe ngototo to tabe nga no bwato mobisa owochero mwaogali you are not even psychologically prepared ngomuntu yongo chale then omaete no ngo chaka kotabataba kuligesila yekobe umuntu ko in a state of confusion atotabanga na state of comatose yani tobwati tomatinga yani ochanga nyikire you are in a tomaite
so moro gotoka
yomo yugoto ikaro attack muga ko Raila Odinga iga siritenga people didn't expect people I think people felt like Raila Odinga was living forever Raila Odinga was there, Raila Odinga will be there, and Raila Odinga will be there that one day will never go. Bono ganyorete abantu in that state whereby bantu mbarenga where I think the rash decision yoko make almost ke Oburu Odinga kobe party leader was that yani to hold it to yani I think it was a uniting factor as abanta batatu the three deputy party leaders tikatora to Oburu who is closer who is a brother and who is the senior most I think is the oldest and it was like tigabwa that's why up to date Babu Wino Sifuna the daughter of Raila Odinga, they have a problem with Oburu Odinga because the process that was used. My thing director and those ranks go say that protocol we expecting onyo yotayo then next it means or automatically correct. That
but it should be written somewhere as a constitution ye kiamanga onye a party leader teyo a deputy party leader. There's no way ura saka navigate go so ura onchukara negente gota banga on the other nanya mwenye kurusonga ko bare member ODM bono for example kama mwenye tombe ka be a decision ye yogo chiranga ere abrupt ko sani jack reaction.
I think the decision yoko make Oburu Odinga as a party leader was just as a unifying factor at that moment because abantu I don't think even as a people were mourning, people were seriously mourning, people were seriously mourning Raila Odinga. So mbabwate that time bono ba chire back now Bajiro Mogako, they are back to their senses. They are trying to look at a procedure to make it nearly. And where was Sifuna? Because Sifuna could be there because he's a secretary general and he's a ranking member in the party of ODM. Where was he when all of this were done? Because he says that I think Oburu just came as a unifying factor. Back to senses. That is why they are talking about the NDC.
But then I can't team ya team ya Sifuna team ya Renge team ya Ososi. I think it's a ranking whatever era talking go say nga ODM ni like liko nyore successor ya baba
babu is
like ringa like monto kurwese side ye batoka because karoko baragweka wikate senior most member kurwese side ye ya Sifuna the senior most no source
was the deputy party leader
o kabare deputy party leader but one you kadoko mukombe na deputy party leader chinde ocha number 3 by fachunga number 1 tima itiara go snare life member ya ODM because tana bora nyoro rengo ODM karaga soka kama yochkwirana but how can you compare him na aba muska Paul Baratu muska Abdulsmart na Sarif na Shir baba elide kia magia ODM kurugia chagetigo baka bona kana pada baka ntaka bero so you cannot compare the two then omaigo jabu ochorengo omaigo chapa Babu Wino hale a member was a position ya yese kiama nigere pa fachunga ale as a member of parliament ocholre ne kiama gya ODM meaning tabuka the position yende yonsi yese kiama
but I think Ototo again don't care gabo kwa macho clarify and I want to speak about it about the loyalty of these deputy party leaders that we have had of ODM. Usakoligerelia noeno yonde Abdul Somad Sharif oyoromo jumbe olengo vita by the way
akabemo jumbe vita
alichisa macha Mombasa. Somad, if loyalty could have paid one to be a party leader, then Simba Arati deserves a apart from ODM being a party and being elected and being loyal to Baba. Ngakinero ODM could go to a maandamano and the people who have been in front line you protect the issues of ODM you could tell is the Governor Simba Arati. It is loyalty being paid to those who have been loyal koba party leaders and even Babu Wino could be fitting in because he has also struggled with Raila Odinga, including the tear gases, including the maandamano. He has been loyal to Raila. That he has also been just a 2 member of parliament, just like the party leaders. Majority of, in fact, also I think is the first time elected. He got nominated. Lakini when we are talking about Somad, is a 2-term member of parliament of Vita. Simba Arati was a 2-term member of Dagoretti North. Baona na Babu Wino era obere 2-term. Kasi bona again tubamu buete kerokyo. He is not a governor na hande bona which was have 2-term. Correct. Lakini if loyalty was being paid to who should be the party leader, then Babu Wino could have been in part of those who are loyal and being in support of Omugaka.
Then weta loyalty yae indi babu ina so ete sikia mkia wete med
babu when you look at them yaka watemeke
rende yue meke yae abu yaram
meke yae I think asemeke miake yae meke. I feel that he has done more of he has done things that he has fought, he has been loyal, he has done everything in ODM that the only person but I imagine it is Governor Simba Arati. Think I think as mad na ikere the loyalty of Babu we don't know Simba Arati. But all in all, this is how politics is played and the power we are told it's taken. Power to Babu no party leader. That is exactly. Do you know what Babu is doing? Babu, whatever Babu is doing is what Raila Odinga did when Mwaka Jaramogi akwete. Igachite isiko akachaka kurwaniranga ngakia konyora the leadership and before Okwa Ototo ekina kikiagarete. Did I talk about the succession of Ngakiraila bona chitaga succeed the Luo nation the Nyanza Luo what Babu is doing is right for me because they want to succeed the Luo Nyanza.
Then and at the same time power ni yakoba taken anya power yakoba taken igemitinga oyo tagete power no olio jebugate bonzo gekabarwane
and that is
because you jebugate na yata ko jebugate kanga olio rwanda mono tigamwa na ina comment. So that's why we expected these two teams chingusana na side sama tukaleboso unless which is unlikely unless wanyole a solution here let us come and work together. The
only solution is that of course then this single chair, but who are those ready to take the leadership of ODM and this gocha matarine chukura chiwako who is able now to stand for Babu yaro kiringa na target tinda manyanga the between leaders
eboli kasamu ndokende and this nige ko bachad
yes by party leader.
I think by party leader and by extension a chairperson yekiama uyori Gladys Nyasuna Wanga na Muske Oburu Odinga avona bago chiko chair
the central committee
abago chiko chair meeting here. Do you think mpanya alikonya chair in a way that irachi kuba make lose?
They cannot to chair something that,
because we have seen before dobote chiwe kesaka tuwa so ngoro gose Margaret Ragal Margaret Langat something ningi nyote jinga gete men in black ba masoget sana. I remember the time ODM na rera tate okungasabno kwa bete jinga get think to about the chinse mo ibelechia che ODM dobote babu na mwamba no Babu na mwamba was on one side with Yango Team Fresh Babu na mwamba na Babu Hassan Joho Babu Isaac Maura nasema yamo alafu sifuna alenge side ya Raila Odinga. Then whatever ki happen ti kia reka tanga ngoche kupuna kienga serikali Egeikaro bone solution yakabanga no kubaleta amo ibiro gebaga nunga toleta team fresh ya mamuna deputy party leader na team etari fresh no amuna na deputy party leadership ya chetenga ambeso paranya deputy party leader na Hassan Jo deputy party leader because balingi team beri chale kungusa chale kungusa na bana igento mdeke kacha kubage kacha kwapen na bono iga is there a possibility nga okoigwana bandamba karanza baigwana batabani ngaki tikatoa yo amukuru ese timu ya Oburu Odinga mne party leader toyo nde koru ese timu ya sibuna mne deputy party leader gocha then a goal ya bonererie main goal
possibly whatever you're speaking and I'm lucky that inche even the binge na babantu abarigere mbere bakumitinga kinga kinguru history ya Jaramogi Oginga Odinga yarenge those times in 94 no koiburu konya atenda iburu lakini it is true learning. I'm happy today that whatever that I learned yarenge through imagination but today bono
history repeats itself.
History ya iranire. I think if they are pushing for the talks and let me tell you something, when you hear the language ya sukuna watabanga tarikoru ODM oyo ndogo orengo hakuna kubanduka yani kero monta hata geto ODM itunderi kero monta hata itunderi
lakini nyerenga naona muraibe somo skeruto manyana
na wale
tarikoru ODM na tata na tarikoru ODM agata tarikoru tia
if we are going to still I think history is faithful we are going to have batebanga koru team eli go support na eli tari go support by chama then I think maybe na vera nyarikane batwale chi team echi so that by chama lakini for the longest time we expecting there will be a lot of chaos injika ndrokobo na ande we are expecting more because bona gomanyete ngwa kusifuna ngakya ni kwa mapenzi ya Mungu na maombi ya wananchi again retokoba a secretary general ya ODM yo yaninga awatenga ebintu biri yakora na barachikokora na barachikurusigo but again you know let me tell you in politics Ototo we have a situation whereby when you are losing someone no yogo chiko gain nkolikoro ngaki value you lose matonyo wanyanga no lose you lose more in terms of numbers then you better retain him lakini if you lose and then you find that lose ya tebwa effect mono you are able to lose but like I said before Toto tarakwana I think what Babu and Sefuna are doing is what we call they are trying now to own Buna Babu I think if he's a good student this is the time that maybe I think to go on the Luo nation as a kingpin and then the same way to Sefuna ma then to wate oparanya is into as a cabinet secretary tari ko mwala wanya ko political mono and then we sakurigere the entire Luya we have never had a unity of Luya like to abatenga keria kijana wa Malwa we have had leaders Wetangula Mudavadi Ososi Oyo Sefuna Oyo so I think these two gentlemen what I can say for me na no renga go push Babu no rengo is edging bono montoron Babu I think he's just trying to inherit the Luo nation as a kingpin yes
and the thing that the rest is so tiego chikabanga abanta waro sikia makia sprinter group
maybe koira ikira unisa but I'm thinking like maybe they'll have a NDC buna go no buna wata banga team galera to monto ino that balance
but then bono conversion singa yego chikoruera karo koligera sam abanta bakumusana na it might not be about the party era about a vision ya party
I think it's
and in a way no objectives ya party umuntu muna almost Edwin Sifuna otpeire Christ clear era one time
sure
na tabangere tari go support Ruto whatsoever
completely same to Orengo
so onye ODM go gotene side ya Oburu Odinga gotene gotabanga intuna otole tokotaba two term do you think bantamba ikaranza mesa ya mabangi katikati ya one term na two term teyo
lakini ndio
zete you are in one term or you are two term
for me interest my this is an interest and let me say that is an interest you never know the clear indication almost Sefuna interest you cannot go in politics minus an interest you gonna I think interest kiago fight
ngaijira
I don't know if the interest chia Edwin Sefuna nchibe served as NDC na inde enyarekane ngagenda ko ODM then I think nothing is impossible in siasa politics siasa tebu ati permanent enmity I want to ask you something who could ever think that William Ruto at one point they could sit with Raila Odinga with the all koru 2013 kwanza koru 20 koruwa mangana Hague mate Ruto's argument was that iga nyoreta same mess because he was trying to protect mwaka Raila Odinga uyu mutigete koruwa aboro chibaka karamo butega asiriri arenge prime minister all the way 2013 bachire bakabwata na Uhuru Kenyatta baka nyokaje ese giyo kuriko braibu ensenere 2017 the same 2022 mubwire but who could think that one day that Raila Odinga and William Ruto could sit in the same table and have a broad-based who could ever think that enchireli Uhuru Kenyatta na Raila Odinga ba mnyokaneti they could have a handshake so there's nothing impossible eketrojenga maybe esegi nene mono I don't know na beko nyarikananga if Sefuna's interests are served well if they sit and it serves well
anyorenga interest ya njibe served well
serikali you find him at the end of the day for the benefit of maybe the party and the vision that they're having
na akarto kwa negoria serikali amosike William Ruto na era no muligere bona aguchi abanta chinda bamune a player and a spectator okobaka kana ODM go siasa cha ODM ngakyo nyako bokota jigo affect kiama gya UDA go jigo affect omo raibu yense moske William Ruto
then back to history I still want to use history Taking you back to history, after Jaramogi akwa, actually omuntu ochagete nainde koligi chikura chiri chia Luo Nyanza and the regions omugaka Jaramogi arenge ko command was omugaka Moi. In fact, kero o Jaramogi asira Moi gatagete ko inherit the parts gwetera se chi region chiri gwetera sa bajumbe kete muna let me tell you mo jumbe naro likuru kwa remember that kero Jaramogi akwa they had to go for a by-election. Do you remember in it's cause ya Bondo?
Yeah.
They had to go for a by-election. And then oyo ndena affiliate candidate ya go post Oburu Odinga. Yo regocha ko succeed kero yese. Mongwana olikoro kwa mjumbe olikoro kwa Odongo Mamo. I think the father to
Rachel Mamo, former cabinet secretary.
Moi ga alete to Odongo Mamo ko boli chikura kama sponsor simply because atakete ko inherit the Luo Nyanza you arenge ase Jaramogi ingachite. The same thing that is happening that Umazike William Ruto is trying to inherit the regions that William Ruto I mean Raila Odinga recommend through other leaders bunabono. It was clear, and I don't know how circumstances was coincidentally that we had a by-election. We had a by-election of Kasipul. Na umugaka
na
Ugunja. And look at Ugunja simply because he had taken Opio Wandai as a cabinet secretary. So the team that the president was supporting that yahakuruka ya ODM lakini yari in broad-based igoya abwate abantu nabarabukorwa sensema ya ODM but who are not supporting the broad-based. Unabono the deputy governor of Homa Bay Oyungi Magwanga was supporting Philip Aroko and other some figures. I think abantu mbarabata rocket clear but they could have wished maybe Philip Aroko ire chikura. So the same way Daniel Moya tumegete Odongo Mamo it is the same way that William Ruto is today using omugaka buna Oburu Oginga is using Gladys Wanga because turugo cha in person ngawo okataketekendeke you use some point some leaders from that region. The same thing that William Ruto is using through Gladys Wanga through Abo Pia Wandai through John Badi and other some notable figures in the Luo Nyanza. Ikobono Iko affect you asked of the how it affects never at the effect but yakoroka na silent. Let me tell you something. The other time we were discussing about effect ki governor we county Kisii agotuara karachirase broad based yago chikotuara. When you look at this yago chikotuara Chinguru being that is a deputy party leader Osoro can feel the heat that umuntu nara uchigocha liba ngo chigotoka as appointment from Kisii in the negotiation table. Maybe Arat will be given the first priority. So
seniority
the seniority. So nane chama ya UDA taringa bono barabu mbabu atumochando. Chama ya UDA nebwa atumochando kwa sababu gani? When these friends kero ku invite friends it means that inga abantu bali nyomba imo already abantu bali bako displaced. Now let me ask you. You have heard Oburu Odinga assuring the deputy president that sisi hatukuji kuchukua hiyo kiti.
Yeah. Meaning igo ebimonyombi abeto
ebimonyombi
abanda barazi ko ngure kero geke.
Bono
tale go taboka busagaje ko matenga ndonto tayi kero geke.
If ODM is demanding that they can't go for the lesser of a deputy president. Then it means that there will be a break. Abantu mbale ko UDA bako chiko feel left out ora anyora ba chire ba join the other side. Because abana ba rosire formation yao. So again, no DM by the time maybe a political and the negotiation has been made, it means that even the people from the same UDA, including is always telling them, in deputy president, lakini bono igonga UDA na what effect, especially the bargaining power yabantu ketengo chikupu. Una bono Kisii, you will tell that the president might value umuntu kwa Simba Arati more than maybe Osoro and other places that
and I think monto nkole nginza chinde oranya kabaka kokeranga ukobaka kanango yanto korakanese kia magia ODM no mo konyi bo muraibense professor Pram Kithurekendiki. Because the moment kia magia ODM kera chekere kama kebugata inenga tumuno ODM twasoirega niko bagocha na babugata right yo demanding muno ODM to our deputy president but bono bagocha in 2 hours kama proof ngana afukiere ere chinguru kwanza mimotara chako negotiating ngimotaka to.
In fact he's enjoying. Thank you. He's enjoying. Let me tell you, there's a time I also told you one is the county ya Nyamira when we have had the impeachments and we have discussed the impeachments of Nyamira for the longest time. I remember the latest now the ruling. If there is someone who was enjoying the bunge mashinani and the bunge asili was the governor, because this unity abanda bache ko unite
bagoigwana bamugodi
the same thing that the deputy president for now is enjoying the division, because if those guys come together and look at the demands
batebenga kibona batebenga intumno DM to achumbe gwetani emie members of parliament and senators nabago tabanga nabago demand batanga
they can demand is I think Abraham Professor Sare is praying for the
kama wakati ngatika baganda ko bagana kabisa gara ngoroki
abantu bali bachaimo they only available seat
why is it called a unity no deputy president
and Nyoranga there's a time that the president was in Homa Bay. The other time you're saying Ikiriara Kolonja, I think it was I think
one of the projects in
there. In future they will discuss that if the president is a man, and some people are arguing that maybe Gladys Wanga is at a position, maybe Yokoba the deputy president. So siasa mbona now being actually siasa teraja. These are friendlies. I think before league yecha kebya go to are some friendlies chikonya kopima chinguru. Ono ni chinguru the real game
on the same dobugate asmio moraibu enso mokoro moske ur Kenyatta nanya takabaga korakab na ata tekobo kiasmio na ibi monya bya nyaka bi korakab mi katabanga iganga yaya nene no gotwara karonso buna rani presidential candidate ai running mate yago sema takarwa moneko tebe kan ndi bali banyale ka ba koligiro go documents bali go no kuigwa no bali brief na information ye genderate ikiama gya asmio no moraibu enso moske ur amurtu na atabanga asmio pira ODM ni kusimia zitkolea na banyara ka bagateba gatenga onya asmio tije ande karo raira rengo mbone go chokanda ande karo ODM eta yore na ODM batayo then asmio future asmio aronero because to bato united opposition na asmio nero ya boki.
So what I can say I think como ske Uhuru Kenyatta plays inga akora ruta angu mondolio kora Targo kwa the real thing.
Agora rutere
akora ko terora ko pimanga ki actually inchi whatever what is your idea kura unero learning what is the position like now let me tell you Azimio omondo yebwaterete tutebenga no ne kyama gya ODM of course no mwakara loading the same ODM noche mochando ri ODM bwate olibata bakonya kutabatabanga nganga kibon. It is the same thing that is happening in Azimio. That why couldn't we have Martha Karua as the leader of Azimio, as the deputy president, Kalonzo? I think the idea was it is just like Kalonzo was given the responsibilities. Esengenjo is a seasoned politician who has been there. But I can tell you for free, in this country, the elections that have been done recently, not even recent Kurukare, Ntuanyago Tuara, the same formation going to the following elections. When I can give you examples. Mga Karaila, for 2013, Tochakar no 2007, igabwate Pentagon, yabwate William Ruto, ikatwara Najib Balala, ikatwara Musalia Mudavadi, ikatwara Nyaga, John Nyaga, ikatwara na umungwana ulikuru kwanga. I think those are the Pentagon members. Raila Odinga. That was Pentagon. Kiraya 2007 yaera, tukatwara code ya wata Kalonzo Musyoka, ya wata Raila Odinga. I think they were the two of them na Moses Masika Wetangula. Ya wata code. Na
Mudavadi.
Mudavadi was not there. Mudavadi no arenga Setebe. I think arenga Tebe as a presidential candidate. Na Geteba Ketebe na Agrichura. I think he got around 400 and something votes. Kuruabu tokamanya kuirana tukatwara NASA 2017 tukatwara NASA whereby now Musalia Mudavadi on board tukatwara paka Isaac Ruto ne kiama kia chama shinani na aba kero geta bandi chama shetani ni sawa chama shimoni abantu ba profile tie kiama gali inchiragete tukatwara lende Raila Odinga, Moses Wetangula ojo ndaga on board Mudavadi, Kalonzo bada agatigara tukatwara na Isaac Ruto. When we came to 2022, now we had Azimio, whereby there was a former president Raila no arenge, Masika Wetangula akaende semeli ende club gerikende, Mudavadi akaende club gerikende, bono muina tukatigara tukanyore new signing arenge Uhuru Kenyatta, tukatwara Martha Karua aga on board. tukatwara wao Peter Kenneth no barenge a lot of brigades ba area ya Mount Kenya bagachon board lakini rende club ya Kabu. So I can't tell you that even if we have seen Azimio reviving, there's no way we can go to elections as Azimio. Azimio teko chukutoka as elections ine linga iko banyareta such that they are to awaken, maybe at least to accommodate the ODM defiance about having Oman to what Azimio.
No, and you are part of the I think somebody spoke about it agatabanga nsachinde ekirenge ketangani karoro ko maso chi position ya chi Azimio korwa sikia magi ODM, especially majority minority leader deputy minority leader was leadership ya National Assembly.
And look at
and then when you look at it on the shorter side of the stick una bagataba isi gotabanga Azimio giasokirie kia rusi ODM ngate yesa Azimio akaroko na parliament ODM yeteneire by law ODM na rekobe minority bo
na rekobe minority
because jerete yo ogotuma UDA na kigere majority Kenya Kwanza ocho otume majority second majority yure ODM wata bunga bangana basana tabange umagojo tenga Azimio ko bere coalition bono tige chabe minority. There's no way Azimio na be minority without ODM. Azimio without ODM ekabono timate ngikoro kwe yuendete.
Just like I said I think the thing about reviving Azimio, just like I said Ototo, it is accommodating the ODM defiant. Now, let me tell you, we had Junet now what a position in Azimio, but Babe Karolio Monde, so for me, Azimio is coming to only accommodate remnants broad base. That is my feeling. So that Barro Kanenga, even if that we are having the opposition, as the ODM is holding the opposition, but ODM we still Azimio. So for me, Okoleta Azimio is just to accommodate those people who don't rhyme with the broad base.
Last part ye de tukulia Egeikaro. Ikiama kia UDA kiarangilia abantu 12,000 bali bakuliye biroko au asense ya Kenya timatinga na muntu naro asogati aronga na chikuliye bo president wetra UDA abo artindara list ye list ye kana na nyigiriti I had it somewhere ya bwate abantu enamba getana sana ya abantu
12,000
ya abantu 12,000 bako liye biroko au na mubekana se county ya Kisii konya umujumbe webunge ya yega ya korukungana yaro ya Nyaribali chache Kisii chanda konya tabirenga ekiama kia UDA byanjira ndenga ngaligo cyo soka muntu aze chikura cha 2027 kurende munetkale umuntu ayo munasogati State House oyoko ligie kiama oyoko ligie president gwetrese kiama ke korukunga kiama kia UDA. General observation ya Moroboli obwensi neki diandara gosomeraga ya lingenga ase abantu bakubolio bo governor kurwese county ya Kisii muntu jetororo esokero gyo governor noyomo obo senator abantu bakolio bo senator kuru county ya Kisii gwetire kiama kia UDA ebara abantu kianda abantu bakubolio gumandrebwe bara abantu 4 abakubolio bojumbe bara abantu 35 obo MCA ebara abantu bakorukunga 192 ase toto abantu bakuboli kero kuru ebiro kuru asero kuru gusi ebara 241 iga asoba senate balikianda bugavana noyo bugavana oiga tera sokia mangane ngo yolenge orende chingu mangonya gukwane kana chirenga nyarebe abange batako bagabanza chinde no yoligetie kero kyo bugavana 2013 just repi Rumumba Nyaberi yo beta namba 2 chinga ke bamnya kariti no gavana umotangane musikeli visio mareba ongwae generally observation ya onere ligo
before entering generally I want to be specific on Kisii County and tell you that whatever that is happening on national nebwate effects share watcha county unabono if janda otavetenga maybe we shall not have a gubernatorial aspirant kurase kiama gya UDA it means nga omonto oyo ochire kobolia obogabana ne kiama kya UDA nero igategete ko brought on board Mato gotiganga bonto tete kuboja.
Ako gasereria.
Igako gosereria. Nera nyorere ngaki nera ko negotiate ngaki nera go isaransigu abe part. And if at all the UDA and the broad-based will support Governor Simbarati, it means number upaka badi mandia share ya county. You never know that we might be having a oyoiga nera bara pimya ko deputy kwa sababu nera bwe kole.
And better still oyo weka na bara let on board daga gote bi o Governor Simbanga ki in case you tanjira nento bwato yito.
Into bwato yito.
Anye to kwaje na agreement yito bwato yito muina.
No yo igata gitenera be brought on board. Mate tiango in Kenya buna tuateba power is taken. You will never be given power.
But ese ko bangaru mo panyabeli. Rumanya beli ko gwake na no Governor Simbarati. No mobasi aro pereka ko ligero kyo bujumbe basi iga inabera nyara ko bage
just we don't know who is the figure. We don't know who is that figure, but rende we are just speculating maybe lakini rende I think nera atakete ko ba right on board
ne county ya Nyamira ndo nyetiga maiga ne county ya Nyamira yabwa tabakuboli bugavana babere kuresikia makia UDA timaiti ko sayo mo no moske nyambati na jerusha tika itu sena na cheto because bona gambara nyara ko ba ko anje kusibya mabiri barengi
maybe
no ndi gora toke then into but asekero kyobo senator abantu 6 igero kyobo ngandebo ebo merebo abantu 5 obo jumbe abantu 10 aigano ere surprising inga Nyamira abantu bakuboli 10 esebirogo 4 abantu bakoli gebrogo whether game ke udina on the 10 toto baba abamsie 152 toto 175.
So just like I said, if the governor will be supported by broad-based, you never know the Navarabumba Thomas Senator. You didn't have anything, and you know more than never Senator, and you did get it. And I know more than was no women rep, so it will be. You know, to talk about zoning. I think the coalition that will be made by the UDA and the ODM, it will be more of a what you call zoning that. Yellow Nyanza, the popular party is ODM. But getting about in ODM, because abantu